Hello, hello, hello. I'm going live again. I had a lot of people comment yesterday. They really enjoyed my live. So I just want to share with you again some live, like what is happening. I just want to kind of check that we are actually live. A couple of things I want to talk to you today. I've just jumped off a Seller Academy call around talking about what's going on in people's businesses and what they're seeing. And also want to give you an update on my Amazon USA. My team, like, by the way, it's Thursday. They've got like $6 left. It's like nothing. And I just want to kind of show you through some of the stats that we're going through because a lot of people kind of ask these questions. I think it's something really, really powerful. So let me kind of just have a quick look. I'm just going to start this. Give me 2 seconds. So give me 2 seconds. Just coming in. And we should be going live now. That's fine. So if you're here, obviously drop a comment down below. If you've got any questions, I'll answer them as well. I've got like half an hour that I can just kind of feed back and kind of feed up. So if you've got any questions, let me know. But I just want to quickly share through with you 2 things. So number 1 is I'm going to share a screen share of my USA business. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I think it's really important to kind of share about what's happening. So this is one of the stats that we use within my business. So if I show this to you right now, this is what my team has just done literally this today. So it's like 10th of November. You can kind of see that. Again, you can see my little mouse. We only had 13,000 to spend this week, not much. Also, the gross profit target was 5,000. These guys have done 6,700 and 6,271. So I'm really, really happy with that. But you can see they've got like $7 left. Estimated ROI, I'm really happy with nearly 50%. That's in the USA. So I'm really happy with that. If I just kind of get rid of this banner so you can kind of see me as well. 2 seconds. Let's untag that. There you go. So you can kind of see here, like we've got this like 48% ROI. I'm really happy there. And like this is my Amazon USA business. 13,000 to spend for the week. We do our cash flow forecasting off our business and what they're doing. And really, at the beginning of the week, we forecasted how much money we could spend, which is about £13,000. We had a target, and again, we look at our kind of like planner, where we're going, what we want to make, and the target is to make 5,000. So again, they're kind of adjusting their purchases, going higher, looking lower, not a problem. So again, the 5,000 was the target. And then finally, today we've got today's figures. That doesn't really matter so much. It was a good actually result. They spent 1,700, which isn't huge, but the estimated gross profit is $1,000, 58% ROI. Hashtag excited. And then also as well, purchase value is about 13,000 this week, so nearly there. Again, $6 left. Expected profit 6,271. I absolutely love that. And percentage gross profit target achieved. Now, the one thing I would say to you, if you ever watching, or should we say managing a team, having targets is so important. How do you know what success looks like if you haven't set a target? So for us, we do that. And then ROI 48.2. Just to say, this is my team in the USA, and they're all doing online arbitrage. So something so important. So do obviously you can see that, and hopefully like that's going to share with you. If you guys have got some questions or comments, drop them down below. I've got like kind of like half an hour. I thought I'd just jump on. In addition to this, I just had the Seller Academy call. I'm going to remove that now, put me back in the middle. I had the Seller Academy call in just a minute ago, and that was really good. We talked a lot around VA accountability, 3-year and 1-year goal setting, AOP targets, Amazon loans. We went into a massive amount of financing Amazon loans, everything we've learned around what works with Amazon loans and what doesn't, all the little tips and tricks that we've kind of seen, what we think, how we get more increased loans, what are the considerations that people have. And then in addition to that, also as well, we talked a bit about, should we say, Q4 and like how we haven't seen it's really grown yet. So that's something to consider. So got a couple of questions come in. Let's have a look at this. How much of these expected results are off the reality? I'm asking you, right, the OA and wholesale is not quite competitive, prices are going up and down. Agreed. By the way, there's a really interesting metric we track. So if I put it in perspective, one of the things we look at is what is our estimated sale price and what are we actually achieving. And I think right now we're about 75 to 80% in the US. So if we think we're going to make $10, we might make 8. What does that mean? Well, it might mean that ROI will drop from what, 50% down to like, should we say 35, 30% possibly. That's where we're probably going to look. So I'm quite happy that we've got really good ROIs, but obviously now we need to make sure we convert that. And the one thing which I will say, in addition to those expected results, is if we're talking about in the USA, let's call it, so the expected gross profit number, again, I can just put it back up here, add to stream, kind of like hidden. The expected gross profit number down here is 6,271. So for me, and really that ROI 48 is, I'm talking about like, we'll probably hit around 35, should we say, for that 30, 35. But the one thing which I say is like, buying good stock is really, really important. You should definitely do that. But also as well, what you should do looking at is the ability to sell that stock. Now, I might buy an item today and I might be able to say, look, I'm going to buy it. I think I'll sell it for 20, but the market could change. A lot of the time we see the market going down, but I think also as well, what we can actually do is maybe look at the repricing, look at what we're doing, and then actually hold our prices to see if the market goes up. So I'm doing a lot of work right now. And if you want to know within my own Amazon business, and obviously I've got two, you can kind of see them here. These are some updates that we've had. Really what we're doing is we're basically saying that what is it called? What we're saying is that I'm working with what's known as my repricing analyst. This is someone full time in my business. They do 4 hours in the UK and 4 hours in the US. And the net result of what they're trying to do is they're trying to really increase that ROI. So really taking it from like what was the forecasted ROI at purchase and what was the actual, we're trying to decrease that gap. So that's the thing we're looking at. And one of the measures we look at is ROI. And then the other one that we're looking at is like, what's the actual estimated, should we say, estimated sale price versus the actual sale price, and like the variance on that. So that kind of really helps out because we do track that number. And by the way, we track that number within our whole framework of metrics we track. And by the way, it's really simple. I say it's really simple. There's a lot of cool numbers we track, and it's simple numbers which mean actionable intelligence. And every single person in my business has those numbers, like not for the whole business, but I mean like each sourcer will have those numbers, which is really important because by the sourcer being able to see their own results, we know how well they're performing. And if you add up all the sources, you know how the business is performing all together across the purchasing ledger. Makes a big difference. Trill Reacts mentioned, is it all wholesale? No, none of it's wholesale. If you want, like, okay, I won't lie. Some of it could be, but we've actually stopped wholesale in the UK. We never did in the USA, we've stopped it in the UK. And the reason is we were trying to do too many things and we just wanted to focus on the, what do you call it? Focus on the OA side. I think it's really important, especially in Q. Like wholesale is great. Don't get me wrong. Amazon Lit, I know. Gravy in the UK, I know. I know lots of wholesalers. They do a really, really good job. But for us, like we do a lot of OA, and that's what I wanted to focus on. Q4 is great for OA. Like I really can't deny that. So we're going to do that. Let's go through. Someone said, I hope my question makes sense. Yeah. Mr. I don't know who that is because it says Facebook user. Let me know if that answers your question. So see there. Hey, Tom, do you focus on different categories in the USA? Great question. We do. Like, if you really want to know, what do? We split our sources into different teams and they have different categories. That's one way we do it. It works really well. We have a whole kind of like incentive scheme behind it. We have a whole like structure and the way we manage it, and I talk about it again within the Seller Academy, but we definitely separate it. And the reason is if you think about it at a very fundamental level, think about it in the USA or in the UK, you're going to get so many people who are just like so many people who are going to be looking at the same products. So if you talk about, let's say toys, for example, Argos or Walmart, I'm going to have same sources going after toys in Argos and Walmart, and I think the problem comes is when you've got a lot of VAs, or even like if you've got 2 or 3, they're just going to keep looking for the same products at the same suppliers, and the net result is that they're going to be wasting time because they're all looking at the same suppliers, and you can only submit the deal once. You can only buy the deal once. You can't say like every time I find the deal. 1 second, sorry. I had a phone call. Someone called me, tried to call me. He's like, So once you try and find a deal, you can't keep buying it more and more and more. Like it only takes 1 VA to find it once. But if you've got 3 VAs finding the same deal, it's called a waste of labor. So yeah, definitely we separate the categories. Really good point. I assume this is Facebook user talking about the reality of OA. Is it competitive? Prices going up and down, expected results. So yeah, no problem. Thank you. Andy, I do love your workout. Let me know how you're getting on. Obviously, do share a picture in the Fast Track FBA UK Facebook group. I love that. I want to see. I've got a new setup now. It's not as beautiful as yours, but it's more of a mobile one. I brought a screen. Let's go through. How are your ROIs difference between expected and actual ROI overall or per SKU? How are you tracking? We do it on a per SKU basis. We have the reporting in place, and then after that we can do it overall as well. So we can actually, if you want to know, we can do it on a per VA should we say, on a per VA basis, we can do it on a per SKU basis, we can even do it as a company overall. And the reason why it's really important, if I want to give you a really good example, one second, someone just mentioned, no, just think of anyone on Instagram, we're also as well on Instagram. So yeah, if anyone wants to comments on Instagram, I will answer them, I promise you that. So one of the questions, so one of the questions why we do this is, let's say, for example, you've got a sourcing VA. And let's say I've got two. I've got sourcing VA, good, and sourcing VA bad, or A and B, doesn't really matter. So one sourcing VA, all they're going to do is storefront stalking. The other sourcing VA is going to do, like, should we say, a different type of, manual sourcing, something else. And the net result is that they might get the same results at purchase. So they're going to find great deals, we buy them, cool. But guess what? The storefront stalking one, copying other people's deals, likely that those deals are going to crash. Why? Because there's a lot more competition, other sellers, the sourcing method, storefront stalking. That's going to be a problem. Now, for us, that's something really important. Why? Because while we do track spend, and while we do track estimated profit, and we do have that tracking per VA, by the way, we know that it doesn't matter how much you think you're going to make it purchase. What really matters is how much you're making it sale. That's the most important point. So what do we do? Where we also look at their gross profits at sale, and we can track, their numbers based on, number one, what they think they were going to make and what they're actual. And by the way, we are looking at that on an individual basis. And the reason why we're looking at the individual basis is because when we do, by the way, your VA might not tell you if you are sourcing using storefront stalking. So what we're doing is we're trying to say, guys, this VA, for some weird reason, everyone else is doing really well, fantastic, but this one VA is really underperforming, but everything looks good on the initial upfront. Well, I want to have that conversation with that VA. I want to have that conversation with saying, stop doing storefront stalking, because right now your estimated gross profit, or your actual gross profit, because you're buying deals with too much competition, it's crashing, we're having to crash the price, the listings, the products are sitting there for too long. That's causing us problems. So it's a really good question, and you should definitely be looking at this, across a global level, but specifically within the Seller Academy, we have built the additions so that you can see this. You don't have to download a report, change some files. You literally just load up a sheet and it tells you the answers automatically. It's really, really good. We use it within my own business. It just gives you clarity. And there's something Tony Robbins talks about is if you want to change a business, basically it's the better clarity you have, the better optics you have on the business, the better you can change it. And I really love that. And I think that's so, so, so powerful. So for you guys, if you're thinking about it, I would definitely be looking at, trying to understand not just what you're buying and spending. And Andy's talked about it. And if I kind of just highlight here, I did show this. This is my kind of numbers for this week. So I did talk about how we had 13,000 to spend at the beginning of the week. And then we, 5,000 estimated profit. We just, by the way, it's Thursday. My team has spent it all, and they've had to focus on higher value. And I'm talking about 6,000 gross profit. I'm really excited about that. But the one thing we are interested in is are we actually going to achieve that 48% ROI? And that's a really good question. So we'll see that track through all the way to the point of sale, and obviously we can learn from that as well. So that's a really important point. So Andy, when you talk about this, I think it's really good. We can also see it on the individual sourcer level. I'm just going to see anyone on Instagram posted any questions. No, guys, if you're on Instagram, let me know. Let's see, I can answer your questions. Let's kind of jump through. Trill reacts. That's sweet. In my first one, so fantastic, Trill. Andy, let me know if that helps out. By the way, give me a thumbs up. Let me know if that helps out. I'm just people are saying, hey Tom, I loved your live. Thank you so much for adding value. I thought I'd come jump back on, and if it's helping, my God, I'm really happy to do it. So let me know if that's helpful. And guys, if you've got questions, drop them down below. I've probably got about another half an hour I can kind of talk to you guys and support. So what are we doing? We've got a big thumbs up. Thank you for the guys who gave thumbs up. I don't know if you guys can see it on your screen. I can definitely see it as well. So we've got here, Trill reacts. That's sweet. In my first month on Amazon. Fantastic, Trill. Keep smashing it. Honestly, join my, I do a weekly YouTube live. Let me know what's going on. And I think obviously that can, be helpful as well. So do really let's kind of jump through Phil O'Leary. Hey Tom, my monthly Amazon revenue is stuck at 5,000 per month. We could drink some coffee. If you don't know, I love coffee. Unfortunately, I drink Nescafe. You probably think I'm just awful. And I live in Mexico and you have great coffee here, but no, just Nescafe. Do you have any tips for scaling to 15 to 20,000 beyond? And is it just a matter of trying to spend more? Do you have any other advice? Again, I'm gonna just say at a very fundamental level, okay, yes, it is about spending more, but obviously you can't just go buy rubbish deals. That's called stupidity. Like, I'm going to assume you started this business, you're doing pretty well. Um, I'm going to assume you've done pretty well. And I think the concept comes is that you understand you've got to buy profitable deals. You can't just buy like deals that are going to lose you money. That won't work. So once you understand you've got to buy profitable deals, yes, at a very fundamental level, if you want to increase your revenue, guess what you need to do? You need to spend more money. If we use the analogy, you buy something for £20 or £10, $10, and sell it for $20, then if you're doing 5,000 per month and you're spending 2,500 per month, then what do you need to do? Well, you just need to up it and start spending 5,000 a month. If you spend 5,000 a month and everything else remains the same, you'll generally start doing 10,000 a month. That'll be it. And again, if you want to get to 20,000 a month, you need to start spending 10,000. And it's a really interesting question because it's a really common one. People do it, and I know they're sitting there about like, I'm struggling. So at a very fundamental level, increase your spend. And what can you do? Let's give you some actionable tips. Think about every week. If you want to get to 20,000 a month, if you're spending 10,000 a month, you're going to be great. So set yourself a goal every week. I just want to spend 2,500 a month buying profitable products that I can resell. That's it. It's going to get harder because, by the way, spending 2,500 a week, definitely doable. I never done it. My team are doing it. But obviously, if you've got a full-time job, things going on, that's hard. That's why having things like VAs, and by the way, we have the VA Academy 2.0, which if you're not happy with your VA within the first 3 months, you can get a guaranteed money back. I don't know anyone does anything like that. So if you've got any problems with your VA, you're worried about it, or maybe like, I'm not sure, should I hire a VA myself or should I do it from Fast Track FBA? If you are not happy within the first 3 months, you can get all your money back. No questions asked, absolutely done. Amazing offer. Check it out. Fast Track FBA, VA Academy, the link down below. But I do think doing a VA or like even lead services can help. So at a very fundamental level, you need to do that. And look, yeah, there are tips. Of course, there are little tips and tricks. Long story short, buy more stock, ship more stock in, get it sold at the same rate, and you will get to that 15 to 20,000. I won't lie, most people generally kind of probably when they hit about 10,000 and past, they think about getting their first VA. That's where they go to. It just helps things out. Why? It just takes the pressure off you. One thing I really understand is that having to source every day can be a nightmare. So I hope that really makes sense. Like having to source every day can be a nightmare. Sometimes you just wake up and just buy deals. Like that's easy. And hence why I always do VAs, and hence why we've grown. You can see them here. We've grown. That's USA. 1 million USA. Woohoo. So Phil, let me know if that answers your question down below. Just write a yes and give me a thumbs up if that's helpful. We've got someone here, Zanzi Bandi has jumped it on Instagram. Is that all wholesale? Is this centered on wholesale? No, not at all. That is not wholesale. It is 100% online arbitrage. 100% online arbitrage. Hope that makes sense. Thank you very much. Yeah, so that's cool. So the other one which you're going to say is, I'm just going to load that back up. So it's going to go through, Phil, Facebook user. Do you factor in returns back into your actual ROI? Do you know a lot of people doing shoes in the US and see? Yeah, agreed. We don't really do shoes. I think we do about 20% April, which isn't necessarily shoes. It's just April, should we say. But I do think is, yeah, I do think like for us, we don't factor it into the initial ROI calculations. And when I talked about this measure here, so if I just talk through, we showed you like estimated ROI today, 58.25%. And then we talked about estimated ROI of what we're going to achieve for this week, 48%. That won't have returns factored in. Why? Because we don't know the returns. What we do is we do try and put our ROI, we're trying to achieve a purchase ROI high enough that once you factor in returns, you're going to lose 5, maybe 10%, and you're like, okay, I can deal with that. But what we're not doing is buying like 5% ROI products today, and obviously we're going to, when you factor in the returns, we're making 0. So it doesn't have the returns in. But also as well, sometimes when we get returns, we'll just to get it sold, break even. I'm fine with that. And the way we look at ROI, including all returns, is, to be honest, not even on like SDK or any of our software, and that's great. We just look at 0, the full P&L accounts. That's the correct way that we actually look at it. So I hope that makes sense. We're just going to have a quick look. A couple of comments on. Someone asked about how to apply for a VA. Fasttrackfba.com. If you want to be a VA, you can apply for that, and that's on Instagram. Cool. A couple of people joined in. So, Henry, yes. I have no idea right now about the difference between what I expect and what I get apart from manually checking. Agreed. And do you know what, Andy? The difference between what you expect and what you get is called feedback. And if you don't get accurate feedback, guess what? You never learn. And the problem comes is you don't know if you're buying good or you're buying bad. And what you don't understand is what's really working. There's a thing which I learned from Tony Robbins, and I talk to my marketing team about it all the time, but I think it's very, very applicable to Amazon sellers. The saying is, the best marketeers obsess over their numbers and they beat them. I think there should be a saying, the best Amazon sellers obsess over their numbers and they beat them. That's not saying they're getting better at sourcing. They just look at the numbers and they beat them every single day, every single week. How much did I spend this week? How much did I spend next week? How much am I going to spend next week? I'm going to keep buying more and more. I'm going to get better ROIs. I'm going to improve it. I'm going to improve my process. They are beating their numbers. And I think it's really important. And how do we beat them? We learn, and we need that feedback. And that's what we've done within the Seller Academy, given the feedback. So it's really, really good. Hope that makes sense. Andy, great question, by the way. Yeah, and I think you need that feedback. We have it within the Seller Academy. We use it within the sheets that we do. We've got lots of add-ons that we have onto like USS that we use just for the Seller Academy, which help with the whole reporting dashboard. Like I can literally load up my business and see every single source's performance, or my purchasing manager's performance, and my business overall performance in about 3 minutes once a week. Like that's just clarity, and I can immediately go, what's going on there, and I can ask my team members, and they already have an action plan for it. Like I absolutely love it. It's incredible. Let's get through. What will your VAs do tomorrow, having spent the target for the day? I don't really know. Like, it's a really good question. I don't directly manage them. I have there's 2 managers below them. So they might have the day off, don't quote me. But also as well, they might go find deals that we'll buy next week. That could be it. So I think it's a really good question. One of the things which I spoke to is a guy who I talked to quite a lot. He talked about, should we say, growing his business by really getting his team to do a lot of work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And if they spend all the money by Thursday, they can have Friday off. That's the goal. Like the goal is to get it all done early to have an extra 3-day weekend. And I think that's quite a good idea. If you can do it, fantastic. There's pros and cons to it, but I think it's a really good thing if they have the day off. So fantastic. Mr. Sean Gilbert, massive action. I need to come visit you and update. So I've got a mini team doing my OA and my wholesale orders and send boxes to Amazon. I know you actually you deliver it to their houses, so I absolutely love that. What else we got as well? I do RA and merchant only to do a few A deliveries now. Yeah, I absolutely love it. I think it's really great. So really good shout there. So I think Sean, obviously you're absolutely smashing it. I need to come do a video with you soon. Absolutely need to come do a video with you soon. So do let me know. Let's kind of jump through. Andy Henry, if you're doing 5K a month and you're still not paying VAT, so do you really need to bust through that VAT threshold on your profit? It takes a hit as it goes over. I can't really comment too much, but I can talk to you about other people who I know who do this. There's an interview I did with a guy called I'm gonna see if I can get it loaded up. If I can load it up on the side, I'll see if I can do it in another window. Stay there. There's a guy called Daniel Gilmore who I did exactly that kind of question with, and he talked about how should we say? I'm just going to see if I can do it. Here we go. There are 2 videos, and one is so yeah, basically there's a video whereby it's how much money he earned before, and he was doing £70 per hour under the VAT threshold. Now, what he did is he went, he's doing exactly what you're saying, Andy. Stay under the VAT threshold, don't sell. Number 2, he went then over the VAT threshold, again with a team of VAs. And obviously, he actually now, and by the way, he was doing like 12 hours a week, not £70 per hour, just staying under 84,000 a year in the UK, VAT threshold, fantastic. £70 per hour he was earning. Now, when he went over, he was doing less than 12 hours a week, I think it was 10, but he now went to 108 pounds per hour word, which is like a £32 per hour increase, which is pretty decent. Now, I think that's absolutely amazing. And I think, if it's something that you're interested in, do like seriously watch that video. I'm going to see if I can just load it up quickly. I'm not going to play it, but I'll show you what it looks like. Oh, there we go. I don't know if I can actually load it. There we go. I'll see if I can quickly just share this with you. Can I go remove that? Stop screen share. Oh no, I can't do it on. Doesn't matter. But looking for Daniel Gilmore and just type in 108 profit per hour, and that'll be in my channel, and you'll find it. It's 108 profit per hour, and he talks about his journey, what happened when he went over, his worrying, his limiting beliefs, and then what actually happened. I think that's so important. Like, my problem comes is if you're going to stay under the VAT threshold, you've always got to stay under it. Once you decide to go over it, the sky's the limit. You can go into the millions. And by the way, like, I run 2 companies right now. Look at these 2. There, these 2. 4. By the way, I'm working a lot right now. 10 hours a week. That's it. Because I'm doing 8 hours a week on repricing, and 2 hours a week running them, 8 hours a week on repricing. That's it. You can definitely do it. Okay, we've got, what's the rough cost of getting a VA through the academy? Have a look, fasttrackfba.com/VA down the bottom here. You can see all that information, fasttrackfba.com/VA. You can definitely check that out and obviously see what we've got there. The one thing that I say is general cost of VAs for you on a monthly basis. UK is about £400 per month. UK is about £400 per month. USA is about $500 per month. That's a really good thing. And I think the real question for you is when you're looking at these kind of things is, if I put it in perspective, when we look at our metrics, like our numbers in growing the business, and by the way, look at like, I can't do it that way. Look at that one. That's a really nice growth chart. We had it down there as well. And that peak, that's 400,000 in 1 month. That peak's like 120,000 in 1 month. What do we talk about? We talk about like when we first start, like it's 2 to 5 deals per month and per day. Sorry, 2 to 5 deals per day that we can buy, then 5 to 8, and then 8 to 10. That's 3 months, for example. Then we go into like weeks, month 3 to month 6. Once you start hitting into month 6, by the way, your VAs are probably finding anywhere between about £3,000 to £6,000 a week on stock. That's incredible. Do the maths on that. You can do some really good things. Again, it depends on your ROIs, but in my business, they're doing some serious numbers, and that's why we're able to hit that, like those big numbers, 400,000 in the thing. Why? Because it really helps out. And what you're getting, like 3,000 to 4,000 spend a week for what? Investing £100 a week into a VA, absolutely incredible. The ROI is amazing on like that. So I think we'll go through that. But yeah, have a look, fasttrackfba.com/VA. And by the way, if you are interested, you can see more information there. If you are interested right now, and we're doing this as part of the new VA Academy 2.0, we're so confident in our service. We've hired 550 VAs for 300 clients that if you are not happy, you can get your money back at any point within the first 3 months. Like, I don't know about that. Like, you can hire it yourself. Maybe you do the hiring. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't. I'm not too sure. Or you can hire through Fast Track FBA, and potentially here you do it on your own. If it doesn't work out, you lose the time and use the effort you've done it in. That's time that you could have spent sourcing. Or you come with us. We find, hire, and train and support them. And if you're still not happy, you can get your money back. And obviously, you lose no time at all. And that's like a real no-brainer. So do check out Fast Track FBA VA Academy 2.0, where we have the 3 months, no questions asked, money back guarantee. Like I promise you, 550 VAs, 300 clients. We know what we're doing. We have experience, and you get so much more. Weekly support calls. We help you with all the SOPs that we use within my business, and we're always developing. So check that out. Dan said, "Hey Tom, hey Tom, just jumping on a call to say, thank you for the time boxing tip in the academy call. I'm watching the videos mentioned and how to structure my week. Fantastic." So Dan, if you want to know, he's part of the Seller Academy. So we just literally after this, I just had a call with Dan on, should we say, in regards to the weekly live call. I do 2 actually a week. So every week. Oh, there we go, come back. So every week I do 2 live calls, so one kind of like USA time, one UK time. And then also in addition to that, they get 3 calls with my team, my sourcing, my admin, my purchasing team. Dan's part of that. And the one advice I gave to him, if I say it to anyone else, and I'll say it to you now, top tip, it doesn't matter where you are. You could be running a multi-million-dollar company. You could just be working on your own. There is always more work than there is time in the day to do it. That's a fact. Welcome to life. This just happens. Your job and the real value you bring is the ability to prioritize those tasks, that work, and to do it in the most optimal order, which is going to optimize for whatever you're looking for. Let's put it this way. If you're running an Amazon business, what are you optimizing for? It could be growth. It could be nice fancy charts. You like fancy charts. It could be profitability. It could be that I want to earn as much money for at least hours worked. Dan Gilmore, we talked £108 per hour worked. My top tip for you is always think about what are you optimizing for. That's the most important thing. And then number 2, use time boxing. Elon Musk does this. Elon Musk does time boxing. I've done a YouTube video on it. It's really, really good. Do check out time boxing. And the reason is what you're trying to do is you're trying to allocate time to tasks which are focused towards delivering a result which you're trying to optimize for. Profitability, revenue per hour worked. so many different things you can do. Spend, for example, do that. It's so important. And that's how I run my businesses. I run these two businesses right here by doing time boxing. I literally have time boxing for like my God, I have like time boxing for exercise, I have time boxing for sleep, I have time boxing for everything. Like it's like it works. Elon Musk does it, it works, and it allows you to it allows you to focus time on the right priorities in importance. It's really, really important. So Dan, thank you very much. And also Dan, great to have you in the Seller Academy. Honestly, I really like that. And obviously it's really nice to be able to like share my thoughts, my learnings, everything else that, you know, I obviously go into a lot more detail than I do on any YouTube live, and all the framework that I'm supporting you with, which obviously has built these two companies. So honestly, Dan, thank you so much. Appreciate that. And thank you for joining. Let's go and jump over. Andy said, I'd love to see charts like that, but unfortunately some months for me are worse than one day before, not always growing. Andy, look, really good question, and I don't think you're the only person who's doing it. The question I would be asking is like, there's like a saying, it's like if you've done what you've always done, you're going to get what you've always get. And if and I'm just reading your language because you say the word unfortunately, so I'm reading that you perhaps maybe like to make that change. Like, I would like to be growing. I'd like to be fortunately, I'm always growing. Fortunately, I'd like a graph like that, for example. And the question I'd ask you, and anyone else watching right now, the question I kind of ask is like, if you are in the situation whereby your performance is a bit, should we say, similar, and the question that I'd kind of ask you is like, if that's what you're happy with, fantastic, like no problem, carry on, no problem. But if you want to change that, you know, if you're not happy with where you are today, something needs to change. And the real question I kind of ask is about what is going to change within your business. Now, the one thing which I'll say, and you know, I do it myself, is like, I have a saying to myself, I'm like, Tom, stop trying to reinvent the wheel, just copy other people, like literally copy other people. Why? Because they seem to be doing something right. And by the way, I'm not saying I'm more intelligent than them, but what I can do is I can copy what they're doing first, get close to the result they're getting, then I can tweak from thereafter. But if I try and start making a better version of the mousetrap beforehand, it's not going to work. So a top tip for you, Andy, and I think always when you're doing that, is just to ask yourself the question, what's going to change? Now, a good example for you, and we talked about it earlier on, like Dan's joined the Seller Academy with me, and that's been a real pleasure. Like I'm sharing all my frameworks, my things. I'm giving him, you know, weekly advice about how to grow his business on the live calls, and it's a real pleasure. So definitely, Andy, you can join the Seller Academy if you want to. We can help push your business forward. But I just think about, if you're not happy with where you are, or if you want something to change, then definitely, you know, if you want something different, something's got to change. And that's a really important question for anyone watching. Guys, if you've got any questions, drop them down below. I will. I can talk about some of the things I did in Seller Academy before, but I just like, I had a lot of people talking about like how helpful it's been going live, and I'm more than happy to support them. So let's kind of jump through. Andy said, my VA from Fast Track FBA has been great. Never a problem with her over several years. Yeah, fantastic. Andy, thank you so much. Honestly, thank you so much for the feedback. You know, again, like I said before, you know, we've got a private Facebook group. We've got about 300 members in it. I think maybe a bit more. And long story short is the fact that we've done over 550 VAs we've hired, and they work for our clients, and it's really nice. And sometimes it doesn't work out, but we replace them, we get it fixed, we solve them. But it's 500, you know, it's 300 people's businesses who really help support in building a team. And why? We're basically just copying what we do. That's it. And by the way, we've improved it so much more. We've got much more aftercare support now. We know what we're doing. We're in a much stronger place. So, Andy, I just want to say thank you for your feedback and the VA. And if anyone is interested, Fast Track FBA VA Academy 2.0. If you are looking for a VA, we're so confident in our service. If you're not happy with at any point within 3 months, you can get your money back. Like, check it out. Link down below, fasttrackfa.com/VA. Trust me, I think you'll love it. Academy 2.0. Let's go through massive action. Sean Gilbert, still haven't paid a wage myself this tax year. Must have made a company 15K flipping company money with wages. Yeah, I love it. It owes me so much. That 15K I wouldn't have done if I sat on the money in personal account. Sean, I'm sure like it goes without saying, like I know you're like I know you got an accountant, you're pretty good. I would really recommend paying yourself some money and then giving it back to the company. Why? Because you can then take that money back out again later without incurring tax on it. So you've paid it, but the money's never left the bank account, if that makes sense. So you paid it and then loaned it back to the company. So the money's still within the business, but when you want to take it out, you're obviously making sure. But I'm sure you're doing that, and if everyone think about it. But definitely, like if you can, you know, I think like one people talk about is like living below your means. If you can live below your means, it's such an important point. So I think, you know, definitely it's really going to help you. Really going to help you out. Let's have a look here. NB0, I think it is. Is your course free or paid? It's paid. Unfortunately, you do have to pay for it. If I give you a quick run through the Seller Academy, it's not live yet. We haven't reopened yet. We may do. We're not too sure when. But fasttrackfba.com/seller. You can have a look. It's on the Fast Track FBA website. And the Seller Academy is focused very much around sellers, whereas the VA Academy is focused around VAs, like hiring VAs. So the Seller Academy is about growing you as a seller within your business. And the long story short, the one thing we're really interested in is it's not really just a course. Like yes, you have course, you have the business mastery course, the purchasing mastery, the admin mastery, the sourcing mastery, 4 courses, which are my own SOPs, my own business that delivered that. Can't do it. There. But also as well, we support that with 3 months free leads. We also support it with the USS. And again, these have massive value. And also support, we give you 4 weekly calls. We have a business mastery with me every single week. I'll do that forever. I want to do that. I want to give back. Also as well, we have the admin mastery. You actually talk to my admin team. If you have any problems, you speak to my admin team directly, not me. My admin team are on that. My purchasing managers are on the call. You can ask them questions directly. How they run the teams, what they do purchasing, how they do deal analysis. And finally, my sources, my training sources are on the team. Also as well, you can bring your VAs into those calls. All of them except the business mastery. Why? Because if you have admin VAs, you can join my admin VAs and get their questions answered. Really good. We do both the USA and the UK because I have two businesses. So yeah, it does cost, unfortunately. I'd like to think of it. I like to earn some money for my time. And also as well, we built 2 seven-figure businesses off this framework. This framework, which we share in the quarter tracker and the way we do it all, built these 2 businesses. I promise you, it's amazing how I do it on 2 hours a week. It's literally just simple as that. Like honestly, it's that framework which built 2 businesses, which we're now sharing with people like Dan right here. He joined the Seller Academy and he joined that call, and I just shared about time boxing, how to use it, what to optimize, and it really, really helped him out. It's just going to come through. We had a question down here on Instagram. ASIC FAQ babe, is the Seller Academy different to the VA Academy? Yes, Seller Academy is for sellers. You, if you're an Amazon seller, you want to take your business to the next level, if you want to copy the same systems I have. And by the way, what should you think about is you don't need to have a team to do it. We've got people in the Seller Academy who don't have a team right now, but I really, really recommend you probably want to go down that route of hiring VAs, having a team, because if you just want a job that is always going to be a job, that's fine, but I'm probably not going to be the best person to follow. There's a reason why I built 2 companies, is because I build teams and I can help you with that. But I just don't I want to enjoy my life. Hopefully you do as well. So Seller Academy is about you as a seller. And if you are interested in building a team, you are looking for a VA, then the Fast Track FBA VA Academy is what you want. And again, we just launched 2.0, where that has a 3-month guarantee on it. If you're not happy, you get your money back. Can't say better than that. And if you're interested in getting a VA, have a look down here, fasttrackfba.com/VA. Got some great questions coming in. What do we got here? Sean Gilbert, yeah, I do. So he's talking about not paying himself, and I suggested instead of not paying yourself, pay yourself and then loan the money back to the company. And that's what he's doing. So he's saying the company owes me so much money. Man, you're going to be rich. This isn't actually my sales chart. This is Sean Gilbert's personal amount of money owed to the company, or the company owes to Sean Gilbert chart. It's just going up every single month. And hey, respect to you. Absolute respect. That's fine. What we got here? MB0. Is this course best to be from Pakistan? Offer your service on Fiverr. I don't really understand. If you live in Pakistan, you want to take the course, absolutely fine, no problem. Obviously, fasttrackfba.com/seller, but I don't know about offering service on Fiverr. Not something that I do. Right, let's go through massive actions. He pays himself £758 a month. My team is self-employed. Yeah, honestly, I really, really like it. So that's really good. Honestly, Sean, honestly, absolutely smashing it. And I love what you're doing. Obviously, Shay, I do need to come down, obviously, see the van, record another video and update on that. That's obviously going to be really helpful for me, and obviously to share that journey. But honestly, well done. I'm actually loving it, obviously, what you're doing in your journey. And I love how, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, Sean Gilbert, Mr. Massive Action, he's on Facebook, he's everywhere. The one thing that I really love about him is the fact that he's looked at the whole equation of Amazon. He likes doing a lot of RA, a lot of OA. He has some Philippines VAs he's hired from us as well. Let me know if, what's her name? I forgot. Let me know if your VA who I placed with you personally, I hired her myself, if she still works with you. Completely forgotten her name. Is she like Japan? No, I've forgotten her name. I remember. Let me know. But the one thing I love about Sean is the fact that he hired, he's got these, but instead of hiring a prep center, he ships directly to people's houses. So he now has like 5 prep centers, but they're people's houses and they're self-employed. So it's really, really, really good. Yeah, and I just said, "What's her name?" And Charlie. Yeah, I remember Charlie. If you want to know of anyone, Sean hired a VA from us. Absolutely loved it. And I personally interviewed Charlie, and I placed her with Sean, and she's amazing. I think she's really good. Yeah, I still remember. I still remember her face. Really, really good. So hey, Sean, I'm glad you're loving that. Keep up the great work. Nami, what monthly sale should you start paying yourself? What should you do? What do you recommend? I can't answer this question. I think, long story short, it's not about sales, it's about profitability. And I want to be very crystal clear. So, by the way, there's no hard and fast answer to this. It's up to you as an Amazon seller or as a business owner at the end of the day. But what do I recommend? Well, I recommend at a very fundamental level, and what do other Amazon sellers recommend, is that you you should be making at least twice the amount of profit you want to pay yourself in your business. So if I want to pay myself $1,000 per month, I should be making at least $2,000 per month. Why? If I'm making $1,000 per month and I pay myself $1,000 a month, guess what? There's no more money being added into the business. So I'm basically like making some profit and then I'm taking it out, making the profit, taking it out. My business will never grow. You want to keep it growing. You want to get a chart that looks like that, where it's always growing. Now, number two is the fact that what you should be thinking about is how long should that take? So number one, you should have double the amount of profit in your business and you're looking to pay yourself. And then number two, how long should it take? Well, look, long story short, the majority of Amazon sellers say that it should take you between 12 and 18 months. We did this survey. I'm not saying this is me, this is what we did within our thing. We did this survey within our own business, which is we did this survey with our own business, and this is what people said, that 12 to 18 months is how long it normally takes to get before you can take pay from your own company. Hope that makes sense. Sean said, massive, gave Charlie a pay rise, and also Charlie creates all Amazon listings. Yeah. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I just want to quickly jump over to Instagram. Afik said, here you go, I have a VA with Fast Track FBA, best decision ever. Absolutely love that. So thank you so much. I think that's really, really good. So keep up the great work there. Absolutely love that. So honestly, thank you. Also as well, we've got anything else coming on Instagram? I'm just going to answer. I'm just seeing any questions that come in. No, so Ash FAQ _ babe. Or Bade, I think it is. It's got a VA from us. Absolutely loved it. Great. And guys, if you're interested in hiring a VA, fasttrackfba.com/VA. We do have the 3 months, no questions asked, refund if you've got any problems. Trust me, I think it changes the game. Absolutely changes the game. If you're looking to hire a VA, check that out. That's going to be game changing for you, because no longer do you have to worry about, what if I hire them, what if they quit, what if they're working for someone else, what if they don't deliver the deals, what happens? We just do all that for you and we take away the risk. And if you're still not happy, you still get your money back. Like, that's incredible. So absolutely incredible. Sean said, gave Charlie £1,000 bonus last year. You remember, Tom, this year I think it's going to be Charlotte. Fantastic. She's a single mum, but works bloody hard at home in a garage, works cheaper than a prep center. Yeah, and hey, like, honestly, well done, Sean. Like, absolutely well done. I think you're absolutely smashing it. And obviously you're utilizing other people. I think Alex Hormozy talked about it, or something that I learned, which is like, our job is to, we're business owners, we have a vision. Maybe it might be a vision to make money, doesn't really matter where we're trying to go. And we can do that ourselves, or we can use leverage to get there. Now, leverage takes many forms. Leverage can be other people's time, other people's money, other people's networks. It can be automation through computer software. And Sean's doing a classic one. He's obviously, using other people's time and obviously other people's resources to leverage and grow his business. And he's not doing it like taking off them. No, he's paying them a wage, and Scarlett is really happy with that because she's earning a wage and she works damn hard. Sean's happy. It's a win-win situation. So Sean, absolutely amazing. Keep up the great work. Obviously, I've got to certainly see that. Guys, if you've got any questions, drop them down below. I'll probably got another 10 minutes and then I'll drop off. Because I just wanted to jump live and answer any questions. So, massive action, thinking of using your prep center for high tickets, or think of using a prep center. I don't have a prep center. High ticket. Yeah, fine. I think it's up to you. Some people do it more themselves. Some people use prep centers. I think really what works. The one thing which I will say is I have seen people using their own prep, and the cost per unit, once you factor in the prep fee themselves, the boxes, everything else, divided by the number of units shipped in a month, actually works out more expensive than the prep center, and they're not even paying for their own time. That's a really interesting one that I've seen many, many times. So I think for you, Sean, you're smart, you know what you're doing. So definitely if you think a prep center is going to work, crack on, mate. Absolutely love it. Let's go and jump through Nomi. Recently hired a VA from you. It is recommended that you have about a Zoom call an hour a day, but what should I speak about? Zoom call about 20 minutes twice a week. Could this be improved? Yeah, agreed. And if anyone wants to know, so within the Fast Track FBA Academy, we really recommend doing about or allocating an hour a day towards supporting your VA. Now, why do I say this? Because at the end of the day, the way you source, what you do, is dependent on your the way you do it. And as leaders and as business owners, we've got to be able to communicate what's working in our business. Like, hey guys, go to Walmart, look for this product, use this sourcing method. This finds great beauty deals, for example. Now, the one thing which we do is we kind of impart that information onto our VAs. Why? Because what we're really trying to do is copy us. Again, what I talked about is don't try and reinvent the wheel, copy. We're trying to create a copy of us, implant that knowledge into our VAs, and get them to do what we're doing. And then the idea is that they'll do it and then probably even get better. That's where we're at. Like, my God, my VAs are way better than I am. So, and I think that's a really important thing. Now, the next thing I'd say is, how do you do that? Well, it's a 1 hour call per day. And in that 1 hour call, we have quite a good structure. And by the way, there's a video you can like how I support my VAs. Like, I start off the call, I say, hey, I do it every day, sorry. I do, hey, how are you? And then I go, how was sourcing data? I'm going to ask them what's happened. And then I'm going to ask them, what was the result? What are we looking for? And again, I talked about it earlier on. We're looking for 2 to 5 deals per day that we can actually buy, or 5 to 8, and then 8 to 12, and then spend. And they're going to ask them, cool. And then so I want to know that they know what the expectation is. And then finally, I think the question comes is, what are they, and then I'm going to go through the deal analysis for that day. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to analyze their deals. I'm going to be like, what do I like? What do I not like? And I'm going to go really detailed. So like, I'm not going to go good deal, bad deal. I'm literally going to be like, open up the deal, and I'm going to go first things first. I'm going to talk through my analysis process. I'm going to go, right, so I found the supplier. Now going to Amazon. Now I'm going to check the same products. Cool. Now I'm going to put in the buy price. Fine. Okay. Now I'm going to look at the ROI. And the ROI is 20%. Okay, 20% is a bit low, but I'll consider profits £5. Okay, I can take that. That's cool. Let's look at the sales rank. Okay, it's selling 5 units per month. I'm okay with that. And then perhaps maybe it's like competition. Oh, no competition. Okay, so low ROI, but no competition and decent enough profit, and I think I can flip it quick. I'm okay with that deal. Again, I'm doing a real kind of slow conversation. What I'm trying to do is explain how I do my analysis, what I do, because I want my VA to do that analysis for me before the phone call that I have normally, or when they're analyzing deals. Why? Because that's going to be really important. And then the reason why you do that is because the more you communicate, the more you talk about how you do your analysis, what you're doing, guess what? The more your VA learns, and guess what? The more they improve, and you get better results. So top tip for you. And by the way, like, I'm not saying you have to do an hour for the rest of your life. No, not at all. We recommend for the first month, second month, you can bring it down to like 3 calls a week. And the third month, you're probably dropping it down to 1 call a week. That's it. And all my team now have 1 call per week. But long story short, what we do is once you start getting the deals you want, you start hitting the criteria, you can start reducing the number of calls down. So if you're doing like a 20-minute twice a week and that's working for you and you're getting the results, fantastic. Keep doing it. Like, there's a really interesting thing. My operations manager did it, or talked about it. It's like, Tom, we're having great success in the Amazon business right now. How do we sustain it? And I just asked him the question. Good question. What have you been doing in the past? And he told me, he went through it all. And I was like, cool, keep doing that. Don't change, keep doing that. He's like, okay, fine, cool. That's it. And it's the same thing. It's like, if you're struggling right now, maybe you're struggling with VA or struggling in your business, look back at what you've done and ask yourself, have I really done a good job? And if you have, or if I haven't done it, look back at what you're doing. And if you're not happy with where you are today, look back at what you've done and ask yourself what's going to change. If you're happy with what's happening today, look back at what's done and keep doing that. Generally, things like time boxing, focusing on spend, focusing on fixing your ROI and your pricer. These things will make a difference. I promise you, it makes a change. But Nomi, let me know if that answers your question down below. Honestly, great question, by the way. And I think it's a really good point. And obviously, within the Fast Track FBA Academy, join the weekly support calls. We're here to help. And also you can answer these questions and we'll really support you about what that structure is. And the aftercare team, drop an email. Hey guys, should I be doing more? Do you have any examples? We'll give you that structure. It really helps. Thank you to the guy who just gave it, or the girl who just gave me the thumbs up. I really like it. I can see them when they're coming through. Someone mentioned in Instagram, yesterday you mentioned a 7-day free course because I'm starting off. I couldn't find the link. So long story short, fasttrackfba.com, go up to, I think it's services, and then the Express course. That's a free course. You just drop your email in, or it might be fasttrackfba.com. The moment you go on the landing page, you might have drop your email in here. That's it. But if not, go to services and you can do that. That'll be the link for our free course. I hope that really helps. We've got any more coming in? No, that's it on Instagram. Just want to say to the guys, Instagram, thank you so much. Hit the heart button. Hit the heart button if you like it. Give me a big like man on fire. Absolutely love that. Give me a big heart like on Instagram if you're watching. I am reading your comments, so I can see them. So I just want to say a really big thank you. Where are we now? Hassan, I'll drop off in about 10 minutes and finish up. So I'm from Turkey. May I join the academy and accompany supply products? Yeah, like you can join the academy if you can. fasttrackfba.com/seller. We're not open yet, but when we reopen, obviously you can get involved in that. Absolutely, there's no issue that where you're from. Let's go through Hassan. And do you source the items from which sell from Canada from dropshippers, or do you find these items to sell, or you only focus on already branded items? You say we already focus on branded items, and we buy within countries. Like I don't source the products for you within the lead service. You can see the things that we found. You can pick and choose them, and you get that with the Seller Academy. And I think also as well, like the idea is that you can say. But we teach you how to find your own products. Why? Because at the end of the day, we want to make you a successful business. If I give you all the products to source, then you're always reliant on me. What I want to do is like, the old saying is like, give a man a fish who can feed his family for a day. Teach him how to fish for himself, he'll feed his family for life. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to teach you the skills which we learned, which built these two companies here. So that's what we're trying to do. Someone just wrote cheers into Instagram. Fantastic. Yeah, thank you so much. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you're enjoying the live stream. Also, I don't mind doing them. It's just nice to share, and if you quite like it. Mr. Sean Gilbert, wait until I tell you about passive income, Tom. Now making 3,500 a month. Wow, fantastic. Get that reinvested. Spread money back around. Don't put it all in one basket, in my opinion. Multiple incomes important too. 100%. I really agree. Really, really agree. I'm a volunteer for a VA for you, by the way. Want to learn the job? Cool, fantastic. If anyone's a VA wants to learn, fasttrackfba.com. You can apply to VA on there. So yeah, thank you so much. Let's kind of jump through Andy Henry. I think I need to get the USS. I'm positive that I'm not making the most of my data available and rebuying a lot of things that are profitable. 100%. With the USS, we do so much repurchasing. Like fasttrackfba.com/USS is called the ultimate sourcing sheet. If anyone wants to know, the sheet it has an API connection to our servers and onto Amazon and also SDK, so you can collect in through. And we have a whole team which will do custom sheets for you, so you can do like for your prep center, managing stuff. We do so many add-ons for it. But long story short, what we're doing is we're taking the data from your purchases. We're telling you where you're buying, what's working, what stores, suppliers are working for you, where you're spending your money, but also as well where you're making your profits. And we can tell that back to you. And we can even tell you, hey guys, like this supplier is working really well for you. You haven't sourced here in a while. We think you should probably go and look at it. So we're kind of giving you that information, which really makes it easy. And look, don't get me wrong. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, 80-20 principle. Long story short, is like work smart, not hard. 80% of your results live in 20% of your work. Start focusing on the 20% and start cutting out some of the 80%. You're just going to be wasting your life. I promise you that. That's a really important thing. So, Andy, I really think, and also, hey, you think about the USS. By the way, if you are thinking about the USS, a top tip for you, if you join the Seller Academy, you get the USS as part of it. It's part of the package. And we also throw in some extra upgrades. You also get 3 months free leads, and you get the weekly live support calls for myself. And by the way, if anyone's just asking, like, hopefully you're finding this like live that I'm doing right now helpful. It's helping you in like thinking about mindset. My God, we go into so much detail, like so much detail. Today we had a massive in-depth talk, and like I got John, my operations manager, to give a real in-depth, exact step-by-step how we do a VA accountability, specifically around the framework that built these two companies here. Exactly step-by-step, here's what we do. I also talked about my exact repricing, not just like the rules. Yeah, we show you all the rules, how we set them up. That's fine, not really a problem. But there's a very clear step-by-step logical framework that I'm following right now to do my repricing, to really try and maximize the profits and to understand when should I hold and when shouldn't I. It's a very clear step-by-step guide. We also talked into Amazon loans. We talked a lot about that, like what do we believe and what we've seen triggers an Amazon loan, what impacts how much Amazon offer you, and what are the considerations for it around financing. That's a really important one. We talked about 3-year goals, 3-year, 1-year goals, and how we break them down. That's so important. And then finally, we talked about Q4, which I think is really important. So don't get me wrong. I think, Andy, I generally think the USS is going to help you, but also I think the Seller Academy will probably help you. And I know your journey. I know where you've been. I think, just getting that kind of like like real support, getting the framework that I built and updating it every single week, accessing my team, it will just take you to the next level. I promise you, I really do. Like, hopefully you seem, I've had people said to me, and by the way, I'm not trying to brag or do anything. People who've joined the Seller Academy, one of the guys said to me, is like, Tom, I'm joining because about 2 years ago, we were about the same level. Right now, you've just gone off like a rocket ship. And that person said, I have just kind of trundled along. It's like, I need to do what you're doing. I was like, absolutely fine. Like, I can help you with that. And we're just sharing all those techniques, those tricks, what we're doing, how we're scaling, the thought process behind it all. And that's really, really helpful. So just want to say, like, yeah, everyone in the Seller Academy, thank you so much. And also, Andy, I think it could possibly help you as well. That's pretty much it. I think everyone's asked us the questions. I've been on here for about 50 minutes now. Wow, that's a long time. I was only going to pop on for like 10 minutes, just answer, kind of share about what's happening. But I just want to say to you guys, thank you so much for the questions. If you have liked this live, hit the thumbs up. Give me a love heart. Give me a man on fire if you're on Instagram. I am watching you. I do have it right here, by the way. I'm seeing it. I'm watching it. So I can see that I'm on Instagram with you guys. And I do think, like, for you, the question comes is, ask your questions. Like, let me know. Honestly, I'm here. I want to help out. And I think for us is, if you want me to do more of these lives and support you guys, especially over the Q4 period, let me know. I can give you updates on what I'm seeing, what's happening, hopefully answer some of your questions and problems you're having. So guys, I just want to say a really big thank you for joining the live, asking questions. We've had a lot of comments. It's been a real pleasure. And what I will do, obviously, is jump back on if I get a lot of love hearts and comments on this. But for you, keep smashing your Amazon business. If you want to know where we are, we've got Fast Track FBA VA Academy 2.0, 3 months, no questions asked refund. I think that's game changing in the world of doing VAs. Trust me, check that out. But what I will do is I'll finish it there. I just want to say thank you very much, everyone. Stay safe and have a great day. Bye bye.